Hello there guys, welcome to Dave's Easy Tutorials. This is the tables video. It's for adjusting the height, width, merging cells, splitting cells, things like that. The first thing that I'm going to do is just put your little table in. Now to insert a table, it's the insert tab, the table group. Now I'm just going to put a table in that's 4 columns wide by 4 rows deep. Just to show you what I need to do. Now the first thing that we're going to do is look at the table properties. Now we go up to the table tools, you make sure your cursor's in the table, you go up to the table tools and the layout tab. Now when you've got the layout tab, you come over to the table group over here and then you go to the properties. But just before I do, I'm just going to zoom in on this little sheet a little bit more, just so we've got there, like that. That'll be lovely. Just so you can see the actual table working itself. Now you go to the table properties, and the first tab that you see in the table properties box is the table, and it's the alignment window. Now I'll come back to this in 1 second, and the text wrapping also. I'll come round to it back in 1 second. But this is so you can position your table on your page, and this is so you can wrap the text round it. And this is, you can say, the preferred width of the table. Now the row, this is where you can specify the height. So let's, for instance, I would say specify 1.2 we'll say 2.5 centimeters. 2.5 centimeters. And then you say next. Now notice there, the table row has now gone. Say okay to that. The first row has now gone to 2.5. So you can just literally dictate what height you want the rows to be. Column is the same. Now notice here where it says the preferred width is 4.07 centimeters. Now if I put 2.5 in there, watch this row cell here, it'll reduce to 2.5. Then the next one 2.5, and the next one 2.5. And can you see as we're coming along, they're all reducing to 2.5 centimeters, and that is because I'm telling it to do so at this point. Now I want to say OK to this one. OK, and there you can see, look, the table is now 2.5 centimeters, 4 columns. Yeah, and notice it's over on the right. What we can do now, we can show you that if I put that on there and go to the table tab, I can now say, no, I want it in the center, and now it'll go to the center. I could also say onto the right, and we say OK, so now it goes to the right. So you can put it wherever you want. You can also say center and wrap the text. Now the wrap the text, watch the text once I move it down a little bit. Notice now how the text's wrapping round the actual table. So if I put it there, look, it's wrapping round both sides. If I bring it up here, because I can position the table wherever I want, and then there, that goes round. And as you add rows to the table, it would just keep continually getting bigger. Notice as I put the cursor in the last cell, if I press the tab key, notice it adds an additional row to the table. That's how it works. So basically when you're working with the tables, this table properties dialog box is so powerful. You've also got the cell tab as well, and this is where you can talk about the vertical alignment on the tab, top of the cell, the center of the cell, or the bottom of the cell. And then you've got the alt text. Now this is more for when you're doing the internet and like web pages and things like that. You can give the table a title, and then you can give it a description within, and it is for web browsers more than anything else. But this is your table properties. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now when you're working with your tables, you can also adjust the size of the table by going to each column like I have there with a little mouse, and then I can hold and I can drag it across, and that will adjust to wherever I want, and I can adjust it manually if I choose to. So you can do it by the mouse also. You can also go up here and touch on there, and you can adjust it on the table width. But notice when you do it in the ruler bar, and this is a big point, notice the edge of the table here. When I adjust that, notice that would change the overall size of the table, and in a lot of cases you wouldn't want that. So what you would need to do is you would need to hold the shift key down and then adjust it, and then it will go to wherever you want to. But again, it's just been aware that you've got the choice of how you want to do it. When you work on the tables themselves, you can talk about the merging the cells. Now if I highlight the 4 top columns and I go to the table tools, the layout, and I come down to merge, I can say merge cells. Now when I say merge cells, notice that that now is one cell because I've merged it down. I can then adjust the height of that, and now I can put that position, that text in there. Absolutely fantastic. Now if I go to this one here, let's say I go to this one, these two here, yeah. Now imagine that I want to split these cells. Okay, so what I would do is I'd go to the, I've got them two highlighted, I go to split cells. Now imagine that I want 7 columns across and I want 4 rows deep. Notice I've only got the 1 row selected and 2 columns at the moment. Now merge cells before split, what it means is it'll merge this down as 1 and then it'll divide it by 7 and 4, so it's a cleaner way of doing it. So we just say merge cells before split and then we say OK. Now notice what happens here. Notice that this column that we've got has now gone into 7 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4 rows deep. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you've effectively got a table within a table. Absolutely brilliant. You can also split a table, but I'll show you that in 1 second. What I want to show you at this minute in time, if I put a little bit of text in here, and then I'll just highlight that text like so. We'll put a bit of formatting on it, so we'll take it up to, we'll say 20, yeah, and then we'll put a little bit of colour on it. Now what happens here, you can now position this text. You go to the table tools, the layout tab, you come down to the alignment, and this alignment here, these are alignments vertically and horizontally. Now that is at the top of the cell, that's in the centre of the cell, and that's the bottom of the cell. And then you've obviously got left, centre and right. So if I want to put it in the middle, centre and centre, I click on this little button here and that just puts it in centre and centre, and it positions the text exactly where you want to. Alternatively, I could put it in the bottom left or the bottom right, top right, wherever I want. Brilliant. If I just highlight these up and merge these cells, and then I type in there, just imagine I want something like that, and then I'll highlight that, and again I'll just put a little bit of formatting on it. Let's say we put 20. And now what you can do on this one, it's the text direction. Now I can click on that and notice as I'm doing that the text is changing direction, and you can position the text however you want. Now if I wanted it in that direction, but again I want it centre in centre and centre, centre vertically and centre horizontally, notice now I can put that in there, and that is fantastic for laying out your tables and bringing out pretty much what you want. Absolutely brilliant. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to close this document and say no, I don't want to save changes, and then I'm just going to bring a new document up. I'm going to stick a table in. Now this table I'm going to stick in, again I'll go 4 4, so 4 rows and 4 columns, and then literally when you want to add additional rows, you can just make sure that your cell pointer is in the last cell, and you can press the tab key, and that'll just keep adding additional rows. Alternatively, you can go to the layout tab and insert rows there. Look, so in rows and columns group, you can go insert rows below and insert rows above. But again, it's just alternate ways of doing it. Now when you want to split a table, you can literally just position your cursor where you want the table to be split, and then you go to the table tools, the layout, and you come to the merge, and it's split table. Now when you split your table, notice now I've got the two tables, not the single table. And then when you're working on very big large tables and you want to split the tables between sheets, this is where you would have to go to the table properties dialog box again. You'd go to table tools, the layout, you go to the properties, and in the row you'll notice here that you've got allow row to break across pages. Well, that's if you're on big tables, and also repeat header row at the top of each page, so that'll put your header row at the top of each page. And sometimes you need that, especially with a database table, if you're looking at it page by page. But that's what them are for when you're working with big tables, and that's when a lot of people need to split tables also. So that's where you would come in the row table properties row tab, and it's in there. And that's your tables. That's how you merge them, split them, adjust the column widths, work them in general. I hope you found it informative. Thank you very much for your time. What you need to do is, I'm doing another table video, but it's all about the formatting and formatting of the table, sorting tables, things like that. Don't forget to pop over to my channel and check my other videos out, and if you subscribe with our channel, don't forget we do take requests, so if you want to know how to do something, just nip over there, drop us an email, and we'll do your video just as soon as we can. Thank you. Bye.